Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today is actually a bit of Diablo 4, which we haven't played in a hot minute, because there is a lot to prepare for Season 12, and I still haven't finished the Battle Pass for my current character, so we might as well. Okay, so man, who's gonna say no to free goodies, right? Therefore, we have some Diablo 4 talks going on. I gotta open up my editor, my notepad. That was State of ARPGs. This is Season 12 tier list. We're going to have to discuss about the best build for every single class and other stuff. Booby, good to see you there, partner. Veilpill, also, good morning. And as I know, a lot of you are Diablo 4 aficionados just like me. I think we're going to have a hell of a good day. And what do we need? We're going to do more total resistance, I guess. No, we're aiming for cooldown reduction. We're still in season 11 right now. But we already get to change our Paladin build. Because as I heard, or as I tested myself, the Judgment Paladin we're playing here right now with the spears is just not going to be good anymore. Jamie removed that sexy voice filter though. Well, you can't have all of them, my friend. You can't have all of them. So we can't be really playing Judgment anymore. I mean, like, at least not to the way that we're playing right now, because with a nerf on things, with a nerf to castle, Judgment kind of went down the drain. When I really tried it, and it just wasn't yay. It was more like, considering how good the Necromancer, for example, was. Yeah. Hope you're well, Aussie. I'm pretty good. Thank you. We're pretty much in the waiting between so many big things coming right now. I mean, tomorrow is the Warlock reveal. Today is also the big Crimson Desert reveal. So creators are finally putting out their Crimson Desert videos. We're finally going to watch some, get some more information. So that's pretty exciting. On the 6th, we also on the 5th, we get Slay the Spire. On the 6th, there's the Where Winds Meet Hexy region. I mean, like, it's tough. What's all coming? I should collect some of these here, because we can use them to level up another character as we maybe want to get something up and running later on. And the PoE2 Huntress Sawtrib will probably continue down the line in April. I mean, right now, everyone is hot for those PoE1 news, and I am not planning to make many PoE1 videos, so I'd rather get already pre-prepared for Season 12, as well, Season 12 is already a short season, so you want to give people the best possible start into it. That they're not wasting their time, pretty much, right? And running around like headless chicken. You can't be having that. So that's what we're going to be working on. I need more strength in this tree, yeah. When is the Warlock gameplay? Warlock gameplay is tomorrow evening. Then we get the full reveal. However, I think most of us watch the leaks, right? I mean, I already know everything about Warlock. I could make a full video about it. Obviously, I can't use the leaked content, right? That'd be not so cool for Blizzard. We pretty much know everything about Warlock already, like the different skill sets, the play styles, how the summoner works, that you can actually turn into a demon. It's quite cool. Can't personally wait to be a Warlock main. I mean, I wasn't sure if I wanted to be a Warlock main, but it is so well done class. I mean, we'll definitely be focusing on Warlock and Necromancer on Lord of Hatred release. That's for sure. Especially because I want to see what the new changes finally bring to the Necro. I mean, currently we got one Necro playstyle, and that's triple Golem. That's in my eyes the most fun. We'll probably be doing that again next season. It's kind of like sad. Like a lot of the playstyles next season won't change. You know, like usually you're hoping that with every season there are different playstyles coming, and you have the opportunity to play different builds. But not with season 12. Season 12 is more like play what you used to play and be good about it, right? I mean, Necromancer is just triple Golem. Druid is still pulverized, all that kind of stuff. Well, Paladin is changing because you get to play Auradin mostly, I think, if you want to be very successful. And I mean, Rogue is still Death Trap. Right, all that kind of stuff is pretty the same. Do you find D4 lacks diversity compared to BO2? In which compare like diversity in what? What kind of diversity are we talking about? Build diversity is surprisingly high in Diablo still, but it depends on what you want to do, right? Do you want to just get to Torment 4? Do you want to farm the pit? It's like kind of the thing, right? Do you want to be able to do Hell Tides? Well, no problem. Do you want to be able to kill the pinnacle bosses, the lair bosses really quick, that kind of stuff? You can determine like what build you're playing in that case, right? And obviously when it comes down to super high end, there is fewer builds. That's like true. Due to the limit of Diablo skill and Paragon system, the end game, so let's say the absolute pit pushing game, is limited to 1 or 2 builds. And that's it, right? There's no, like, that's that. So in this regard, Path of Exile definitely has more variety to offer. I mean, I can make so many builds be able to dominate the end game, and we're talking about end game, right? However, despite Path of Exile having more build variety, it at the same time comes down to the same. Because like all endgame builds kind of play Atalui's Bloodletting. All endgame builds play the same lineage support gems. So you might be using different skills, but you're using the same supports, and you're essentially doing the same just with a different skill. You're using the same uniques. Every build in PoE 2 plays Headhunter, right? So technically there is more build variety, but practically it's the same less build variety, just in a different costume, right? Because, I mean, every endgame build in Path of Exile plays Headhunter. Every single endgame build in Path of Exile tries to get skill ranks and Onslaught on their weapon. If it's a melee, if it's a attack skill build. Every single build tries to get, you know, like energy shield and then chaos inoculation. So kind of, yeah, sure, build variety, but also no build variety. Yeah, the question is, how much content can you play without the meta? Exactly. I mean, I for example, made, like, I always try to make builds that are fun to play, right? And don't require too much meta whoring. Like, so you don't need to have all the mystics and so on to even feel strong. And I think that's very important, because not everyone wants to do that, right? Not everyone wants to whore the meta. And it also comes down to, are builds fun to play? Because this is a very important point. So, for example, the Aura Paladin, you run around and AFK kill everything. You technically don't even have to play anymore. Now, a lot of people are going to say, wow, that's fantastic. This is so cool, very efficient. And other people say that's super boring. Warlock's still the best class. No, Warlock got tremendously nerfed, and you feel it. So when it comes down to the best builds, there will always be the meta outliers, that's for sure. But they're not necessarily the most fun to play, right? I think that's something very underestimated. Often. Like, people hunt the meta and then they're bored. People hunt the strongest build and they're like, wow, this is boring. Yeah, because it's terrible. Can you deny the skill diversity? Well, Path of Exile might have more skills per se than Diablo, but every single caster build in Path of Exile is cast on crit comet. You might have all the choices, however, all the choices are not valid, right? I mean, it's nice to have a lot of choices, but if the choices don't scale in the end game, then boo-hoo. What do the choices use you? I mean, this has been my ongoing complaint in any ARPG. So if I look here... Shit, I can't pause the game. This is not Path of Exile, sorry. So if I look at my skill tree in Diablo, I wish every skill was endgame viable. And I think it's stupid that it's not. And I do believe that's a failure in the game. I mean, obviously not every skill has to be the best skill, but every skill should be Torment 4 viable and without breaking your neck, right? And if I look here at my skill tree right now, so I want my core skills. So this endgame viable, endgame viable, endgame viable, endgame please. And if not, then that's a failure on the game. And a big one. And that's sadly in many ARPGs, they have cool skills and you can pretty much use them in the first 20, 30 levels. And then you better forget that the skill exists because fuck that skill. Right? That's shit. Why should I forget that my favorite skill that I've been enjoying all game? Why do I suddenly have to forget it existing just because it's not viable in the end game? It doesn't scale high enough. Oh, boo-hoo, that's shit. Oops. To me, each skill should have a place, either doing leveling or speedrun or pushing ETC. It's generally speaking, I would agree with you that some skills might just be designed more for end game than for early game, but that's what you have specialized uniques for, right? To say, hey, maybe if your skill isn't viable in the end game, like you could get unique X that makes it viable then again, because that's what build diversity is then. That's what smart build making is. However, if these tools then don't exist and you literally have to forget about your skill, then that's sad. Right? I mean, yes, I have an early game skill. Yes, my early game skill falls off over the course of the game. I understand. I respect that. However, as I then reach the late game, I find specific unique X, as in Diablo, by farming the lair bosses, and that will then catapult my skill into endgame viability. That's what it should be. The gear does not excite you. Well, they're shifting power, Matt. The power, Matteo, is being shifted from the passive tree. So right now, if you're looking at the passive tree, you have things like here, 35% more damage, 10% more damage. That's leaving. That's leaving. We're not having this in the passive tree anymore in the future. You're not going to get a single point of damage, quotation mark, from your passive tree. So the skill tree in Diablo 3, Diablo 4.3, 3.0, right? That passive tree is really that skill tree is going to be for skills, to do something with the skills. If they all succeed with that, we'll have to see. And therefore, if the whole passive tree is gone, if the passive tree isn't scaling anything anymore, then the power from the passive tree needs to move to... Well, it needs to come somewhere, right? I need to get my power from somewhere. And that's where it gets really interesting in my eyes. So then we got to get power from the equipment. We got to get power from... Yeah, where from then? Where from then? And that's where it gets very intriguing in my eyes. So we're already creating a preliminary list of all classes. So we got Druid, Rogue, Paladin, Barbarian. We got Sorceress. We got, let's call it Sorg. Necromancer. And who am I missing? Oh, Spiritborn. So we got pretty much here. This is for season 12, right? This is what we're going to do today a bit on the side note. So we got Druid is Pulverized, that's for sure. Then we got Rogue is going to be Death Trap again, which is terrible that actually is Death Trap. I'm not sure if I feel like playing that. For Necromancer, we have Triple Golem. So it's 3x Golem. is also already nailed. For Paladin, I heard so far that it should be Auradin. And definitely Judgment or Blessed Spear isn't possible anymore. For Barb, I gotta do some more soul searching. And for Sword, we also gotta see. It's a fast burner. Yes, Diablo 4 is a fast burner, and that's fantastic. I know it seems weird to say that, but Diablo is good because of the quick acceleration of it. Dean, why is the screen so thin? Well, because you're in the vertical stream. I should have probably marked it as vertical, right? So you're in the vertical stream. That's why it's so thin for you. Stumbled into the wrong format. Also, equipment certainly still defines your build, Mateo. I mean, I require for this build specific uniques to really scale my damage and be able to do Torment 4. Especially also now with Torment 5 coming. Because we are going to have in the PDR season, in Season 12, we're going to have Torment 5. And that is going to be very interesting. I mean, not for everyone, not everyone is pumped for Torment 5, but I personally am looking forward to it. I've seen like a new difficulty and being able to make builds be able to beat that new difficulty is going to be a rather intriguing experience. I know not everyone thinks the same, but we got to get used to what we will have with the next expansion, because the next expansion will also have Torment 5. Auradin is not to nerf. No, Auradin is good, my friend. The real nerf is to castle. So what's being nerfed, or the biggest nerf to Paladin, is this passive here. That gives you 1.8% of your armor as damage. And currently that's 1,000 bonus damage. I mean, I am getting, in this current setup, 1,000% bonus damage. That's crazy. That's insane. However, with a nerf, the damage bonus is down to... what was it? 300%? Yeah. The damage bonus is down, and like you're losing like 600-700% damage total. That's terrible. I mean, who wants to lose 600-700% damage? But seriously, who wants that? Steven, thank you for gifting a sub away to Batman Bandley. Steven, good to see you there, partner. The problem with people getting bored of season is they watch YouTube videos. They choose meta class, buy mats, farm bosses all day, Uber bonds. Once they get and quit. I mean, cinematic, like this, that's, how do I say this now? It's not actually a problem. I know it seems like that watching YouTube videos, hunting meta classes, buying mats and farming bosses is a problem. It's a problem for the people that spend too much time with games. So the actual media, Reddit, Twitter, like Twitch, paints the picture as if everyone is just rushing through the game, but they're not. I know people that take my build, so I made a build that you can level in 2.5 hours to 60 with. So someone took this build and told me he took 6 hours to 60, despite me giving him the blueprint to do it in 2.5. And that's fantastic, because people progress at different paces, even if they have the tools at their hands, right? Seems weird, but it is what it is. So only because a few very vocal nerds are blasting through games too hard, right? Doesn't make these games boring too fast. Only boring too fast for people that know exactly what to do, when to do, where to do, where to do. And you know what? Games will always be boring to these people because they have nothing else. I'll say that the season progression, the general progression in Diablo is still one of my favorite ones in an ARPG. Of starting a new character, of getting to 60, and then trying to reach Torment 4. I enjoy that every season. It's a very fun puzzle to figure out. It's a very fun mystery to solve. And then to obviously do it with multiple classes. So I like that very much. And I think it's well executed. However, we still need more endgame content. That for the people, again, that have no life, that they're able to have something to bang their head against. What's the start of the new season? On the 12th. So it's only 8 more days, and we're obviously going to create all the resources necessary for you. We're going to make all the build guides. We're going to get you the early starters into the game. We're going to, on day 1, level, see how quick you can level, how to utilize the kill streak for maximum leveling, and then obviously drop some updated info on that as well. D4 has one thing the others don't have, that's an open leveling world. Yes, and it's one of their strong points, to be honest. I mean, the other games don't have an open leveling world because it would be terrible. Like, it would be downright terrible. Imagine, like, some people will say they want this, but imagine playing Path of Exile, okay, and you would instantly get dropped into mapping. I would not play Path of Exile. Like, let's say that, like, you start the game, and instead of going through the campaign, of going through the actual progression, you would just be dropped into mapping. Horrible. Is this the season with the changed dungeons? You're getting Bloodied Nightmare Sigils, and Bloodied Nightmare Sigils will up the difficulty of Nightmare Dungeons. So yes, this is the season with the changed Nightmare Dungeons. Mapping is not open world, though. Well, mapping is the open world that Path of Exile has, though. Path of Exile doesn't have open world activities. There's nothing in that regard like Diablo obviously has. That's why I never understood people who want to skip the campaign in Diablo, in Path of Exile. Because it makes no sense. There's nothing to do. There are no activities. There's no system set up. Oh no, I'm dying. Still taking a bit too much damage, generally speaking. So we have this character, like, has a grand total of, like, 12 hours under his belt so far. That's why we're also pushing some Paragon points, because I still need to finish the Battle Pass. Kind of dislike the open world once the game. I do actually like the open world in Diablo. Funnily story, the fastest leveling has actually been rushing through the Vessel of Hatred campaign. So if you really hate life, if you hate fun, if you hate diversity, if you just want to do the fastest thing possible, you could have actually leveled every single season by doing the Vessel of Hatred campaign. Because it still has been the fastest way to level, which is crazy. So if you just rush through the Vessel of Hatred campaign, right? Just don't look at cutscenes. Just do the things. Just mind-numbingly. A to B, A to B, A to B. The fastest. Can Whisper caches go over to the next season? Nothing goes over to the next season. You always start a season from 0. That's the whole intention of the new season. That everyone starts from the beginning again. Everyone starts from 0 power. And you gotta work your way back to hero power. Right? Boop. Oh, I can't put it in yet. Which is obviously the whole allure of ARPGs, right? From 0 to hero. Are they adding the storage changes to D4 that they had in D2R Stupidity Odyssey? They didn't say, but I better hope they are doing that. So far, we don't know if the storage changes are coming to D4 as they did to D2R. However, if they're gonna give us, like, customized storage in D2R and not in D4, I mean, like, seriously, what would that be for a ginormous failure? The biggest failure I've ever seen in the history of failures. Like, we're gonna be throwing hands, okay? hands, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't give us storage. Like, seriously. If they want people to stick around, they need to give PvP some love. That is probably the worst thing they could ever do. This game does not have PvP. There is no PvP. There is no balance. There is nothing set up. There's no reason to ever do PvP in Diablo. And people are sticking around. I don't know where the sentiment is coming from that people are not sticking around. They are. But storage needs a serious upgrade. Why don't they do that to PvP? Because the game is inherently unbalanced. This is not a PvP game. This is an ARPG with PvP slapped on top of it. You have classes with travel skills. You have other classes that don't have travel skills. You have an imbalance between crits, overpowered damage, and damage over time. And the PvP is probably the most unbalanced shit fiesta in the world. When I can make a damage over time build, I did. And I pretty much killed 2 players of my level with better equipment while not even doing anything. I activated my Bone Storm around me. I went into Blood Mist, which makes me untargetable, and they both died in a second. Because damage over time is overtuned. The fact there's no balance, why it could be the best PvP. Did you just say that? Okay. I try to be reasonable, sir, but I guess our conversation ends here. The only way how PvP is ever interesting is if there is a kind of balance. Unbalanced PvP is probably the worst PvP. I am sorry. Will Warlock drop with the next expansion in April or earlier? Well, I personally was hoping for Warlock to come already at Season 12. That would be insane. Sadly, it doesn't look like that. I mean, it's a bit weird that we're getting a Warlock reveal stream tomorrow. So why are we getting a Warlock reveal stream 7 days before Season 12? Explain, chat. Why is that? Why would they ever do this? Set the single player game. Sir, I have more hours in PvP games and multiplayer games than you have ever done in your whole life. But, you know, keep on with your unbalanced PvP opinion. I'm sorry, brother. But, like, the only thing you can do now is bow out before you make a fool of yourself. More than you already have. I mean, don't get me wrong, chat. We really, accept everyone's, opinion, but unbalanced PvP, come on now. This is a filler season. This is only a filler season, Stupid Odyssey. And this is a season to test Torment 5. 2 things. Filler season and test Torment 5. I think we get the changed skill trees in Season 12 as test. No, we don't. Rizzo. I mean, we played the Season 12 PDR already. We tested the bloody thingies. So the new skill trees would only be working if we had all the skill points. The problem is they can't give us the new skill trees. Why can they not give us the... Okay, come closer. The reason you're not getting the new skill trees is because they don't have damage in there anymore. Okay? There is no damage in there. So let's assume they would now give us the new skill trees without the item changes, without the bonus levels, without the balance they have been doing. You would literally lose all your damage. I mean, you would here, this is here the block chance, this is 18% more damage. You would be losing the 18% more damage. The cooldown reduction, it would actually stay probably. The 21%, the 18% again. You would lose the 18% here, the 18% there is gone. You would lose like 200% damage alone from your passive tree because there's no damage in there anymore. And that's the big difference, you know, that like why it wouldn't work. I mean, I was hoping that we would get the Warlock like we got the Paladin, But it really doesn't look like that. It really doesn't. But you get to test Bloodied Nightmare Sigils, Bloodied Hell Tides, and Bloodied Lair bosses and so on. And these Bloodied bosses and Bloodied things are tier 12. Right? Of the Titan Quest videos, Jay, we're waiting for more content. I mean, I really want Titan Quest fully released at this point. I mean, once they do actually the Titan Quest 1.0 release, I'm going to make a new character. And we're going to go through the whole game once again. Like, right? Do a whole playthrough from the beginning to the end. In April, Where Winds Meet gets a new world. No, in 2 days, Where Winds Meet gets a new world. On the 6th, Hexy region starts. If we're talking about the same thing and not about different things. So that's just around the corner. I mean, tomorrow we get the cool Warlock news. Then we can finally talk about it. Then we can finally make videos about it. We can already look at potential playstyles and so on. IGN can finally post their video. Which I kind of find is sad that, like, we have so many Diablo partners, right? And they pretty much gave IGN early access to the whole thingy. And then IGN made the fumble with the video, right? I mean, just give me a test client so I can test at home. I would have made a better video than IGN, and I wouldn't have posted it early. Right? And I would have certainly not posted it early because the legal troubles would have bankrupted me, but hey. Should I wait for season 12 or start now? I mean, like, this season ends in 7 days, my friend. If you want to get yourself used to systems again, you could start now. However, like, you would certainly, like, yeah, in 7 days, everything is back to 0. Now, that being said, you only need, I mean, as a returning player, you probably need like 6 hours to get to level 60. Maybe 10, but let's say 6 hours, okay? So you could play, and you could get used to the new seasonal rank. Because Diablo 4 has a new system that will stay with Diablo 4, and it's called the seasonal rank. And the seasonal rank at the start of the season gives you skill points, it gives you Paragon points, and so on. Plus loot. So you definitely want to interact with that seasonal rank. I haven't played it since I got it on release, basically. Well, you've missed everything, Kyoshin. I mean, Diablo 4 has truly shaped up to be a phenomenal game compared to what it used to be. I mean, not that Diablo 4 version 1.0 was completely terrible, but compared to what we have right now, day and night. Are they going to reveal the season 12 IP call-up on March 5th? No, I mean, they might give us some more season 12 info, but I don't think there's much coming, personally. I just don't see what kind of information they could still throw our way right now. There is just not much they could give us. I mean, we have 54 days, Vincent, for this season, and April has pretty much no news for Diablo, so I would assume that in April we get some more interesting stuff, right? I was debating Titan Quest 2. You should definitely, for Titan Quest 2, wait for release. The thing is, so as much as I like early access games, right? But this bit by bit, act by act playing of ARPGs is frustrating as fuck. Right? You're just getting in swing. You're just enjoying yourself. You're just like, you're getting some more levels under your belt. You want to see more of the story, and it's over. And it's over. Right? I get why some games do early access, but the bird feeding of content is not good for every game. Like, there's some games where early access worked fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I mean, when we had like Darkest Dungeon 2 back in the days, there was only one act to play. But yet it was like really fun to actually go through that one act and then just enjoy like different team comms and so on, and then do it again and do it again and do it again and actually try to beat it. So those like some early access games work like really well, and others you're just like, wow, this is annoying as fuck. I mean, Path of Exile, for example, as an early access game, actually works great so far. It's been a good iterative process because you have more or less a whole game to play with obviously its drawbacks. Are you going to play PoE 1? I probably won't have time to do so. So we are going to get the new Hexy region, or so on the 5th, okay, in the evening. On the 5th in the evening is the Warlock stream. That means I have to stay up in the evening to play the Warlock stream, to do the Warlock stream and make videos about it. Then on the 6th in the morning, there's the new Hexy region coming to Where Winds Meet. And if we're going simply after what people like to watch on my channel, then the Hexy region is definitely going to be attracting way more people interested in what we do than anything I could do in Diablo and in Path of Exile. D4 doesn't do WASD. D4 does do WASD. I don't do WASD. I don't know how people play that way. In ARPGs, you use your mouse and then you click and then you move. Right? So, chat, coming back to season 12 builds. What was actually the best Sork build last season? What was the best Barbarian build last season? So this season, pretty much. Actually, do some digging. Yeah, we're probably not playing Path of Exile 1, despite it actually looking like an absolute banger season. It's just not my like my expertise. No, I enjoy playing games where I'm really good at, or where I have a drive to become good at, and I never had a drive to become good at in PoE 1, right? It's always been just popcorn kino for me. I just wasted one upgrade, so I can't upgrade this. Oh my goodness, I hate myself. Okay, what says the pit leaderboard for... Oh, it was J-Bro again. Damn. So it was the Barbarian build. Barbarian... Oh no, I remember. Oh no, Barbarian was absolutely horrible last season. Oh no. I remember this. It was just like, if the gameplay adds up to what I think it is, then it was absolutely horrible. Okay, this video... Could you just give me the 1080p, please? Wow. Let's wait for that to load. It was like a really weird where you run around the map and you pull things, right? And then you start throwing, I think, your hammers with like heavy cooldowns in. It's like you just have to run around. Oh no. Yeah, and then you spam Hammer of Ancients. No. Barbarian always had like a very few builds that really interested me. And it has gone down steadily as of late. New season is in 7 days. Have you not watched our ARPG update video, sir? We just made one where we get you the latest news on every single ARPG. I know, crazy, right? CE for Sork. No other Sork build came even close. What do we have? Oh, wow. Full Lightning again. I mean, I guess Full Lightning was fun to play for a bit, but it being like the top one again. Wow, you have a terrible recording, sir. Ah, Jesus, my face. Pit 120. Pit 120 is relatively low. So it was Crackling Energy. I mean, Crackling Energy is at least really fun to play. I did multiple Crackling Energy builds, and they were quite like intriguing. Yeah, so it's the Crackling Energy and then the Way Forward. Yeah, you know, I like that. This one was a build that I enjoyed tremendously because it was fun to figure out how to scale it. Right? Because you like, if I remember correct, it was all about the skill ranks for Crackling Energy. Was it? Like, let's look at the build guide. It's been a while. What do we have here right now? Yeah, we had Essador's Overflowing Cameo. Exactly. Crackling Energy gains damage. And that was quite significant. We had the Erupedition, and we had Orzavain. Yes, Orzavain. So that was quite interesting. You had Temerity. You actually did play Temerity. Huh. For the Barrier on Overhealing. Did you? No? That's intriguing. I like that. So I think Crackling Energy, let's look at the patch notes quickly. Did something change? We got Sorg, right? Burning Instrings is just burning damage. Frigid Fate is like, they just simplified it so it does more damage. Elemental Summoner is 10%, 20%. Total bonus damage is Fire, Lightning, Cold. Casting, yeah, this is just 50% now. And yeah, so see, like these are kind of the changes with the patch. If you're looking for like meaningful changes, there are none. They're literally, it's just not happening. I mean, you just notice it's like how do I say it now? Filler season. But absolutely no build device today for Sorg. I disagree. There is tons of build diversity, but again, it comes down to what you want to do. So I made last season, for example, a Meteor Sorg in the Chaos season, and it was obviously not the S tier super top tier Sorg, and it couldn't do Pit 120. But for me, so a build needs to do Pit 90. Pit 90 is where I'm happy about, or actually not even Pit 90. This is very important. So a lot of people feel like a build is only good when it can do the highest level of the pit, which I technically do agree with, but practically it's not true. Because why are people playing a season? Okay. Why are people playing a season? Raise your hand. So technically the reason to play a season is to beat the season. When is the season beaten though? In Diablo. What would be an end point when you win? For most people. Not for the hardcore gamers. And that's where the seasonal rank comes in. Because the seasonal rank kind of tells you what you need to do to get certain rewards, right? The seasonal rank tells you when do you get your mythic charts for free. And if you beat the seasonal rank, you kind of have the battle pass done as well. Oh, we're just looking at the pit leaderboard because it obviously gives an indicator for the most popular build and the strongest build in that case. There's obviously build diversity, but what I'm telling you, most people don't want to hear, right? I mean, people want to play an off-meta build and still be able to do pit 120. That's the thing. It's not that people don't understand the concept of off-meta and that clearing a pit 90 is good. No, they want also that their off-meta build is supposed to be as strong as the on-meta build. Because why not? I feel like as soon as we're able to clear the seasonal objectives, we're done. Die, sir, die. Oh, we just landed on his noggin. Okay, so we can upgrade our last. See, this is also how I end most seasons, right? I have one build where I actually do upgrade it fully. But in most cases, most of my builds end like with 54 on the runes. And then I don't even go further. Yeah, between family and work, I only have 30 minutes to 1 hour daily available. And then you want a good build, Kimi. That's true. That's absolutely true. And I understand you, right? If you only have an hour to play per day, you don't want to figure out an off-meta build. You want to figure out an on-meta build. So eat my ass. And that's why we're doing this, right? You're absolutely correct. What I like to do in the meta leaderboard is, so I like to look for the outliers. So you can type in Meteor, for example, because I enjoy Meteor. So what was the highest Meteor finish? Pit 103. Now, you would say, wow, Meteor can finish Pit 100. That's amazing. Yeah, technically amazing, because you gotta watch what are they doing to achieve that rank, right? So if we have now a meteor pit finish, right? 100, that's great to see. However, you kind of gotta figure out what did Jeremiah now do to get to this point. And like, I don't know, I think he's showing actually gear here at the end. So Jeremiah's actually showing gear at the end, right? And you scroll forward to figure out like, so what have you been doing with Meteor? And then it's like, okay, he has a Starfall Coronet with 14 ranks in Meteor. Okay, so perfectly rolled. Great. He has a Shroud of False Death. I understand. You get the cooldown reduction on that one. You have the Orza Vein with 10 to core skill. That one isn't even perfectly rolled. But he got the 10 to core skills, right? So it's like, it's not just your average build already, right? It's a very well done, high rolled build. And then you're like, yeah, so I'll never achieve that. Good riddance, sir. Like, well, so good talk, but yeah, nope. Not happening. I think this is the season where I collected all the mythics for the build. I think the seasonal track is kind of forgiven for this. Right? I mean, you get like here, you know, pit 75, you get your resplendent cash. You still have to, like, you have to defeat Echo of Lilith. There's another one. I would really like to know how many people still don't know that Lilith gives you this. Right? I would be heavily interested to figure this out. How many people are simply not aware that Lilith actually grants you a thingy? Also, mythic rates have been increased in general, but not the way you think they have. So what happened to mythics and why are you getting more mythics? Yeah. That's because they increased the mythic drop rate around the world. Right? Wait, this one is in Torment 1? Why is this one in Torment 1? They just... Or does it go higher Torment here? So Lilith hasn't one-shot it in a while, sir. I mean, Torment 1 Lilith is really easy to do. I use the Swallow Arbiter build, just run and watch everything dies. A lot of people did that, my friend. And a lot of people use the Aura Din, where you play pretty much Aura Paladin to kill everything. Which I personally never understood. Right? I like to use my skills. I like to press a button and then see minions die. Having a build that automatically kills stuff kind of defeats the purpose. I don't understand why some people are still talking about D4 bad. I mean, some people are just losers and sad. Their personality is talking about D4 bad. Some people are also very much stuck in the past. And it's the only thing they have left. Right? Talking about games in a negative way. It is what it is. Can't really fix these people. It's always internet warriors, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure that half the people on Twitter that talk about games don't even play games anymore. And let's be real. If you actually look at the whole discourse, they don't even play games. They just talk about games. They don't actually play them. I mean, just this morning, okay, just this morning, I have seen people modding Resident Evil so that the character Grace has huge knockers. And I'm like, sure, I was 12 too back in the days, right? But if that's a way how you can only enjoy a game, then you, sir, have problems. Right? Many problems. Half the people on Twitter are no people. Oh, that anyways. That anyways. Are you excited for the new area and character? Do you think it will be done poorly? Vibe. The Warlock is insane. Confirmed already. I mean, there's no question. I'm sorry. I have seen the IGN leaks. I've seen the whole Warlock gameplay. It just looks fire. 20 out of 20 fire. So I am very much excited for said Warlock. I am very much looking forward to the Warlock. Because it will definitely be an absolute banger. There's no questions asked. How good the new region will be, I can't say. How good the war plans will work, I can't say. I'm hoping that the Horadric Cube will have lasting impact. Because one thing we really don't know is, how will the Horadric Cube really work? How is the execution of said cube? What can we expect there? Right? How's it going to be? So that's really something intriguing down the line. As it's going to get some kind of chaos armor functionality, sanctify functionality as well. We don't know. Warlock is basically a witch doctor. Warlock has 4 modes of operation. Warlock has temporary minions he can summon. Warlock has a hellhound that can follow him, and he can turn into a demon with an ultimate. Warlock has a shadow build where you're pretty much playing an assassin Warlock. And Warlock has the ritual build where you're putting runes on the ground that will erupt into hellfire to destroy enemies. Those are pretty much the 4 pillars of the Warlock. Not sure how much you can mix and match the whole thing, right? That remains to be seen. If then it is like, can you turn into a demon but still put down the runes? How is the temporary summoner together with whatever? So that's all like, we'll have to see when we then get our hands on it, right? What is season 12? Season 12 is in 8 days, and that's why we are slowly starting to ramp up the videos for it. So you're gonna get a tier list of the best builds. You're gonna get, in my opinion, the some of the best starters that will make the season be a breath for you, because again, it's a short season and people want to play Crimson Desert. So I kind of want to give you like a way to blast through that quite quickly, right? I mean, I myself am looking forward to play Crimson Desert 2. So I pretty much have 6 days to absolutely demolish the season, and therefore I gotta do my best in 6 days. Right? I mean, 6 days is still 60 hours of possible gameplay. Yeah, I know. Problems, Chad. So yeah, that's that. You're lucky to play the new season of World War 3 doesn't start. I mean, damn. Imagine Crimson Desert being delayed by World War 3. I've been waiting already 5 years now. No one needs that in their gaming plan. Get your shit together, Murica, please. Thank you. Ooh, I could not do this. I could just teleport out. Definitely. The Warlock certainly has 4 gameplays that are all varied, similar to what we have with Paladin here. Because if you like, Paladin also has 4 distinctive playstyles, right? You got Zealous, Juggernaut, Judicator, Disciple. I think that's cool. Like, if you compare this is the sad part. If you quickly compare what Paladin does with the 4 Oath and all the skills, right? And then you're going for Necromancer. And you pretty much decide to sacrifice all your minions and that's it. Right? Like, okay, so my choices are 3 sacrifices that each give me stat boosts, but don't actually change my playstyle. Sadness. Sadness, Aberdeen Chan. Is Paladin still going to be #1? Well, the current way how Paladin works is not going to work anymore. So right now, the #1 Paladin is the Spear of Heavens. However, the Spear of Heavens Paladin is heavily nerfed because of the way how the passives work. So if you're looking to actually play this, due to the Paragon changes, not anymore, right? Paragon changes kind of hardcore spit into the soup there. Like you get the castle, but the castle's not going to give you the damage anymore. And we're talking about like an 800% damage loss. I don't know how much it exactly was. I had the castle. Wait, do we have the recording from the PTR? No, that's not the recording from the PTR. I'm not sure where my PTR recording is. It's somewhere on Narnia here currently. So many gameplay things. Yeah, we're at the point where like you lose so much damage as the Paladin that you gotta like do specific builds to compensate for the damage that you've lost, or you gotta do the overperforming Paladin builds, right? So that's the whole basic idea behind it. By the way, what was the Spiritborn leading build? We got counterattack, Scourge, Skin, Protect. It's still the Protector build, but with payback? Really? How does that look? Spiritborn. Some people have weird color settings for sure. So you're running around, you're pulling things together, and then you spam payback. Oh. I mean, he's pretty much just spamming Protector, right? Intriguing. I wasn't aware that payback is going to be ever so good. What did they change that payback turned out so good, though? Right? Well, everyone is playing payback at their mom. And there's still a Quill Volley build. But what are they using for payback? We got Hash Kusanagi, casting ultimate, your damage. Protector can be invoked at range and pulls enemies inwards. Yeah, increased damage for your Gorilla skills, doubled by their knockdown or boss. Okay. You get T-Bolts, you got Harmony of Ebawaka, obviously. You got the Robot of Kapaleka. You probably turn payback into a core skill. Yeah. So you're going to go Rod of Kapaleka, payback, and then you're going to double scale it. Is that correct? Most likely, right? So this gets more damage per point of vigor consumed, and then Rod of Kapaleka gives you more damage per point of vigor consumed. So you're pretty much double consuming the vigor for the double gain. So you consume 100 vigor, it's 100 times 75, and you 100 times 0.5. Yeah, and then each time an enemy attacks you, the damage they take from payback is increased up to 200%. So you're pretty much going to have a permanent buff up to 200%. That, I mean, it makes perfect sense, like how it actually works together. That's nice. Did that get nerfed in some way? Oh, second page opening, Chad. So we got Spiritborn. Bonus damage increase, bitter medicine, drive legend. No, that's pretty nice. I like that. I mean, obviously a lot of the damage that builds like this have been doing come together from the sanctification, right? So you got to rethink that you don't have sanctify, and not having sanctify costs you a lot of damage. But still, payback. Spiritborn is payback gorilla. Payback protector. Interesting. Baron is probably going to be Hoa again. And Paladin is Aradin. Are patch link nodes? Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, that's nothing new, the patch link nodes. This pretty much just like everything you need to know from the PDR. We don't know if they did any other, like if we're going to get like any final update, right? That's pretty much it. I always assume you have all this information natural born, but the thing is that that's a wrong thought, because why would you have all the information? You don't care, right? Often. Like, you start caring when season 12 releases, but why would you care much beforehand? So obviously for me, who's my job, I always have all the information at my fingertips, as I should, because it's important. But I should also assume that you know shit and that I need to cover things. I mean, this is why we made yesterday's video. I'm not sure if you've seen it, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't seen it, how dare you? I thought we're friends. But we made this one here. Let me show you. We made this video. It's called State of ARPGs. And it pretty much covers everything from PoE over Epoch, like with all the recent news on games. Because obviously I know all the news, right? I know with the whole release schedule of every game. Because I need to. That's how I make my content. But like most people just don't. So only because I have all this knowledge doesn't mean that you have it, especially not in one place. Play Eternal, that's kind of cool, sir. I'm always surprised when I meet Eternal players. It's funny though, because Eternal players get even more punished than seasonal players. If you think about it. Because you're sitting here on Eternal and you got your items made legacy again. Then the new expansion is coming, level 70 comes. Like so you're not like Eternal in Diablo 4 has really not been Eternal. Yeah, like exactly. So with Eternal characters, you just feel like you're losing DPS left, right, and center always at every time. Have you done a Spiritborn payback build? No, Steven, we haven't done a Spiritborn payback build, no. If I would do one now, I would probably source a lot of information back from the pit leaderboard, right? To make a version that works very fun outside of the pit as well. Because there's always like the problem with the pit leaderboard is if you people take a build from the pit leaderboard and wonder why it's terrible for Infernal Hordes, or why it just feels really shitty in Helltide, right? And then like, well, because it's a pit build, sir, right? It's made to do good in the pit. It wasn't made to do good in Helltides. It wasn't made to feel good there. But sir, it's not okay. We hate it. Like, oh no, my pit build is actually not that good in the other parts of the game. Boo-hoo. So how much did I now make in currency so far? Because my main goal today is also to finish the battle pass, and I heard Helltide is one of the best activities for that, because you pretty much are getting reliquary tokens in accordance to how much XP we have made. Someone correct me if that's wrong or right. Because I've actually never had to try to make experience, right? I usually play enough that the battle pass just finishes itself out, and I don't have to care about it. It seems like I have to. I'm sorry, Steven. The amount of season 11 builds we have done is very limited. I mean, season 12 is definitely going to be like a fast-paced acceleration, where we're going to slap down on the Necro really good. We're going to do the Druid really fine. And we're most certainly going to also cover the Paladin. There are going to be some really good days of breaking it down. We need to teleport out. Please, sir. Please, ma'am. I am looking to teleport out. I got yogurt in my backpack. Stop pushing me. The expansion will bring me back for a bit. I'm really excited to see if we're getting a new pinnacle boss, right? I mean, we have Uber Lilith still as the only actual pinnacle boss. But now we're getting Mephisto. We should get a new pinnacle boss, shouldn't we? I mean, like, really. What is this? We should absolutely get an actual big baddie to bang our head against. And that's a level 70 big baddie. I'm not sure if they're reluctant to do a new pinnacle boss that's pretty much hidden behind an expansion. Because that means that the normal people, the normies, they would never fight that pinnacle boss. On the one hand, yeah, sure, I feel that. On the other hand, what do I care? I want cool new stuff for someone who bought the expansion. You know what I mean? Well, we technically got a new pinnacle boss in Vessel of Hatred. So I'm being a bit unfair. This is very important. I'm being unfair. Because in Vessel of Hatred, we did get a pinnacle boss. However, that pinnacle boss is hidden behind the Dark Citadel. And you need to play with others to fight it. Right? So let's not forget that the Dark Citadel is a thing. And the Dark Citadel has a final boss. And that final boss is actually a cool challenge. Especially when you do it on Torment 4. However, let's also not forget that Dark Citadel is forced multiplayer content that we absolutely don't want to do because we hate forced multiplayer content, and that makes us really sad. So yeah, as much as give them at least a bit of credit, on the same time, like, what the fuck? No. A Dark Citadel is objectively fire. Right? It's an absolute killer thing that we have the Dark Citadel. It's just bad for Diablo per se. Pangello, thank you for the Prime Gaming subscription. Pangello, you're the first supporter today. I appreciate that greatly. Thanks for keeping the stream alive. We get a Griswold Opus that I haven't used yet. Oh, that's a cosmetic wand. Cool. I unlocked a new cosmetic. I'm the chosen one. I feel like we're getting more damage, chat, by the way. Massive more damage. But I don't feel like we're getting more tanky. Right? It's one problem I certainly have with Season 11, and it's going to be intriguing for me to play around with in Season 12. Because I'm still not personally used to toughness. Yeah, sure, we have toughness. I still don't like it. And it's going to change again next season. No, I mean, not next season, but it's going to change again with Season 12. Because in Season 12, Season 13, the DLC, we're going up to level 17. So everything is changing again. Similarin, I hope I get that correct. Thanks for the membership over on the YouTube. Similarin, I hope I didn't butcher that name. No, that one did not connect correctly. I'm gonna figure out what's the problem. Also, Norby Maris, thank you very much for the 5 months of support already. Please. The change to the skill tree. So what I'm really interested in is that the skill tree is supposedly only influencing the skills, right? So the skill tree is not there to gain power. The skill tree is there to gain variation. So like skills giving more attack speed, skills giving more projectiles, skills being turned from one skill to the other skill, right? So actual changes to the skill, an actual skill tree that does something for skill variety. You didn't Similarian? Yeah, that might happen. Which class were you playing Season 12? Well, I was thinking about starting with a Paladin because it's probably the last season I I will play the Paladin, because then with the with the season 13 with Lord of Hatred, I will most certainly not start with Paladin, because there is the Warlock, and then there is the changes to the Necromancer and all kind of stuff like that. So obviously I'm going to focus on that, and then later down the line play some Pally. What are you hoping to see in the skill tree for Necro? Well, it seems like that the Necro is finally going to get minion-related stuff in the skill tree, which is huge. We have actually seen this in the preview video already, in the 30-year preview. And when we're done with this, we can kind of throw an eye on it. So the Necromancer is either going to actually get a minion core skill, which we have been asking for quite a while, and or we will be able to influence our minions more with the skill tree. Now, I know not everyone that plays Necro is a summoner player, but again, Necro is still the summon playstyle main, right? So getting anything for that related is just ginormous, just like your mom's waistline. So yeah, where was the 30-year? What do we have? Where? Oh, there's a picture of the skill tree. So I like the picture of the skill tree for the Necromancer, right? Here, when we're looking at it. And you can see that's Reap. And Reap has 3 variation with 4 skills influencing the Reap. And we'll now go further. Here. So this is Skeletal Warriors. This on the left is Skeletal Mages. Right? There seems to be something relating to them. So they're the passives that could be whatever. And then there are 3 different warrior types. Now, what I wonder is, did they move the passives? Did they move the Book of the Dead over to the passive tree? Norby, the new skill trees are for DLC, not before. Right? And obviously the big question is, what is this now? Like, because is this a skill? This is a skill. But what can I do with this skill? Because this is a skill, chat, right? This is not just summon skeletal warriors. This is a skeletal warrior skill. I mean, this here's corpse explode. This is corpse tendrils. Up there's corpse explosion, right? But this is a skill. So what can I do with said skill now? Right? I can pull. Is it just summon the skeletal warrior, or is it command the skeletal warrior to do something? What is it? That's what I am more intrigued about, right? Because we've been asking now since forever. I mean, you have to understand, like, so what was Diablo 4 release? Well, the original is 1st June of 2023. We are now almost 3 years in, and 3 years long, every single season, we as the Necro creators, and I'm in that Diablo partner Discord, right? We have been asking, hey, Diablo, is there a chance that we maybe could get a skill for minions? Auradin seems to be very good because of the axe. Right? So right now we have as a Paladin, we're going to play a shield, and we usually play the Magnum Opus, right? And that's not bad. However, the issue with this is that, again, you lost so much damage due to the castle nerf that it's really bad, right? The advantage of Auradin will be kill streak, because you always need to attack everything around you at any given point to have the kill streak just go on. And pretty much with an Auradin just jumping from mob pack to mob pack should be working very well with the kill streak. And that then together with this thundered, is it called thundered? Thundered steel axe? Yeah. That should work fire. Should. I mean, I've been scrounging some footage from all the creators who have played Season 12 alongside me, right? So from all the PDR footage that I have seen. And the consensus seems to be Auradin. For, like, top tier finishes, for easy progression. Like, we're like, when I say things like this, we're obviously talking about easy progression, right? We're not talking about, like, having fun. We're not talking about, like, build diversity, variety, whatever. We're just talking about how do I progress the easiest with the least struggle, right? These kind of builds. And that's where Auradin seems to shine, certainly. I haven't played it myself yet because I found the playstyle really boring. I mean, the reason we're playing Blessed Spear, which is funny because we made this Blessed Spear right after release, right? Right after release, we made this build. And it turned out to be the absolute meta build. So, yay. Obviously fine-tuned, but my original Blessed Spear build is pretty much what we have seen now everywhere around. So, I guess, yay. Plus one up for just liking to play fun builds. Turns out we had a good nose. When do you say Season 12 starts? On the 12th. Season 12 starts on the 12th, because why not? I'm not sure if Diablo was aware how close they're releasing to Crimson Desert, because that is going to definitely bleed player base for them. But then on the other hand, I mean, it's only a filler season, so I don't think Blizzard is putting much stock into this season in terms of, like, expectations or anything, because it's literally like a filler season. The worst part about the filler season is you're pretty much playing outdated content, right? This is the one thing I really don't enjoy about playing this season. So we're playing content that we know won't stay this way, right? So next season is going to be like level 70. Season 13 is going to be the new DLC. Like, we just know it's not that. So yeah. What are we going to do with that information now? I remedy him. It might be March 10th. You're correct. Huh. I keep saying March 12th, right? It was actually March 10th. You're correct. That's amazing, to be honest. Because it gives me 8 days to play around with it. This is fantastic news. Have you heard about the game Dragonkin? I made a lot of videos about Dragonkin, Willie. The problem is that Dragonkin is very bare bone, very basic. It does a few interesting things. But, man, I like, they chose a hard... How do I say this now? They choose an extremely hard market to try to break into. I mean, unless your ARPG is exceptional as fuck. Right? Unless this is exceptional as fuck, your ARPG won't see much love. When you're competing against D4, PoE 1, PoE 2, Last Epoch. Oh, man. Like, you gotta make it, like, absolutely slay. Blizzard pricing for DLC is strange. Oh, Blizzard pricing for DLC is a kick in the nuts, Saxon. You're pretty much not being, like, how do I say that? You're being punished for owning the game. Because people that buy all the expansions together pay less money. So yeah, you're being essentially punished for owning the game. Boom. She dead. Is Last Epoch still on the menu? No, but yes, but yes, but no. So if it depends on really how much time Crimson Desert is eating up of my time. Like, would I play Last Epoch? Yeah, I mean, if Crimson Desert turns out to be horrible, maybe. But it doesn't look like that Crimson Desert will turn out horrible. Right? It looks rather like Crimson Desert is going to be absolute fire. But maybe in April, deep April, before Lord of Hatred, we might find time for Last Epoch. So, ladies and gentlemen, I finally got myself a double Resplendent Spark. I have the money. So we could make ourselves a random mythic. Do a random mythic. Do. Which one is it going to be? Boop. Ooh, that could be Tyrells. Is it Tyrells? Nice, ladies and gentlemen. The man, the myth, the legend. The chosen one. Da 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 da. Oh no, I need more Opticide. Fast, Pony Huff. Get more Opticide. We need it right now. Crimson Desert is going to be wild. Absolutely. So wait. So we need to do a nightmare dungeon to get the Opticide, okay, chat? Because I don't want to do anything else. Wait, we have here layer boss keys, legendaries, runes. What am I looking for? I'm looking for Opticide. Yeah, here we can do Tribute of Refinement quickly. And then, after doing the Tribute of Refinement, you know what we can do, ladies and gentlemen. We could do Sanctification. And mid, first time catching your stream. I just want to say thanks for all the Diablo videos. More to come, sir. I'm happy they could help you. I'm looking forward to making I'm looking forward to the season 12 leveling video, but even more, I'm really excited for Lord of Hatred. Like, having new games releasing, new expansions that significantly change the game, just always have me excited, because it's going to be like all new systems, all new things, everything is different, so we can make, like, you know, we can just talk about all the different stuff. Why am I still in Torment 1? Wait, why is this Torment 1? This is supposed to be Torment 4. Because I'm still in Torment 1. I'm an idiot. Oh, my goodness. I joined this in Torment 1. By the way, Chad, I noticed that my microphone had a sound problem. And I actually hit up one of my friend sound engineers. It's like, something sounds weird. Can you help me? And it turns out that my settings are perfect. But I made a mistake. Seems like that moving my arm around turned my microphone slightly. And the problem with my microphone is it's a directional one. It's like this here. So I'm forced to actually talk directly into it. And if I'm not talking directly into it, into the logo here, yeah, the microphone sounds worse. I like the Masterwork rework. I'm still not sure how much I like the Masterwork rework. I mean, it's not bad, but I didn't hate the old system. I wish the Masterwork rework would have been more the old system, but different. Right? Like, the actual thing they did seemed like a bit of a knee-jerk reaction. Just too much for what would have been enough already. I don't get some of the people doubt Crimson Desert MO. I mean, Timothy, the issue is that, like, the people that are doubting are, again, the people that are just, they don't play many games, right? So they're, as always, jaded. But how are we going to get next level games without next level games, right? I mean, at some point, that one game has to come that moves the needle forward. Why can it not be Crimson Desert? There have always been games every 5 years, right? Where you're like, damn. Every single player game should be like this. And these games need to happen, obviously. I wonder what people expect. I mean, they always remember games back in the days that, like, did something special, but for some reason, no new game can be that. Right? No new game can be that something special. It can only be done by old games. And new games are always a scam. Could be a buggy mess. Absolutely could be a buggy mess. But they also have gone gold 2 months ago. Right? I mean, once in a while, it's like we have a game that actually is done development-wise and not that's being still developed while it's releasing. Not like New World, which releases too early. Yes, the biggest advantage for Crimson Desert is it's being made by Pearl Abyss, who don't have any, like, they don't have money sitting in their necks because BDO created enough money for them to do this. Weaponized nostalgia, don't fall for the trap. Oh, Flipmaster. Let's not get started with weaponized nostalgia on people's end when it comes to gaming. Aren't the majority of games released early? I mean, look at Resident Evil. Masterpiece. It was released at the right point. Like, performance was good. It wasn't perfect. No, there were still some performance hiccups. Gameplay was great. I didn't encounter a single bug. Absolute fire. I mean, honestly, I just played Resident Evil and I didn't regret it for a single second. I mean, let's compare this. I bought Code Vein and I was like, wow, 6 out of 10, right? And I absolutely do love Souls games, but we all know that Code Vein turned out less than optimal. Outcomes for people who never play BDO. I mean, it's also like Asian developer, moo bad, like, yeah, people. And it's almost like, how do I say this now? No one is forcing you to pre-order a game, right? So people are skeptical for no reason. They could just wait for the release and then check out the game. But instead of doing that, they're just skeptical. And you're like, but why? Did you have a reason, right? Just wait for release. Watch a video if you like it. And then buy it or not. You play Last Epoch, and no, I didn't play the last seasons as the game did bore me. Not the mechanics in Last Epoch, the actual gameplay of Last Epoch is what doesn't really have me. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. I got my here thingy master work, but I obviously, Jesus, I have the most terrible. We need to go back to the Undercity. Because I need to re-roll that. I'm not using that before I sanctify. Plan 8 from Pearl Abyss more than Crimson Desert. Have not heard of that. By the way, Mycom, thank you for the brand new subscription. Sorry if I missed it. I was shocked that Highguard is shutting down servers. I wasn't, to be honest. But it's also not the community that killed games. Freakin'. I mean, so what happened to Highguard is very simple. Highguard actually had 100k players. Highguard had over 2 million players that played the game. The problem is, the only reason why Highguard existed was Tencent funding. And when they didn't instantly pop Ultra off, and when they didn't turn out to be the next big thing, Tencent just pulled the funding and the studio had to shut down. It wasn't like that Highguard had a year to fine-tune the game to become a good live service game, like Diablo, for example. I mean, look at Diablo. If Diablo had someone funding in the background, right? They at this point remade the game 3 times. Only something Blizzard can do. Other live service games would have been shut down long ago. So yeah, Highguard didn't have any funding. So they literally, like, it wasn't the next big super banger, and that's it, done. I mean, I personally looked at Highguard, and my only question was, who was this game made for? Because no one, like, there was no demand for the kind of game. Right? So it's not even about, like, hero shooter, move bad, marketing, move bad, whatever, blah. It's just literally like, there was no market for the game. You made a game, and there never existed a community that was searching for this, right? I mean, No Rest for the Wicked, for example, when that released, it had a market. It had people that like ARPG games and like Souls-esque games too, and boom, you instantly had a community for that. When Apex Legends released, it was like people were on the BR craze, so obviously it had a market for people that were looking for that fast-paced kind of skill ceiling. And then you had Highguard release, and it was like, yeah, who wants this? No one is looking for this kind of game, my friend. What game is this? This is Diablo 4, sir. It's funny because there was an interview with the developers, chat. There was an interview with the developers, and it pretty much came down to that the leaders of the studio thought they could just shadow drop the game and it would instantly be a success. Because obviously they made Apex Legends back in the past, right? So they could do it again. Straight up hubris. I'm still sucked into Arc Raiders. Well, Arc Raiders is exactly what people were looking for. People were looking for a extraction shooter that's not as hardcore as Tarkov, that has a solid system, that has a good world with good NPCs and fun. And surprisingly, people were also not looking for a PvP game. I know Arc Raiders has PvP, but obviously the biggest part of the community is not looking for PvP, right? They just want to do the extraction loop, but without getting killed. So I'm not surprised that Arc Raider had success. Definitely not. I'm just sad that I don't like it. I mean, it's not that I don't like Arc Raiders, so I'm just not in for any kind of multiplayer content, to be honest. Right? It's like all the multiplayer content just bores me. I was thinking about like marathon. Should we do some marathon? No, absolutely fucking not. Absolutely not. Marathon. I mean, like back in the days, I would have fucked with marathon badly. I've been like shooting faces, taking names. That's back in the days. Now I'm old and wasted. Okay, let's re-roll this one because I did not want to go for the stealth thingy. So I get all stats. Yeah, great. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Fire. Good. So now we can sanctify this and see, like, if we get something bad, we're screwed, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, we're almost there. Wow. ladies and gentlemen. Let's sanctify. I'm happy that this is gone, by the way, from the game next season. Affix upgraded to greater affix. And it's ruined. I mean, seriously, it's ruined, right? It's like the real sad part. You're like, yay. So that's bad. Cool. I hate it. Let's destroy this item and make another one, okay? Is this the newest Diablo? No, it's only Diablo 4. Latest, or season 11. In 6 days, we have season 10. And in 48 days, we have season 12. 48 days, we have season 13. Sorry. Oh, jeez. Brain. Okay, how much did I make, ladies and gentlemen? How much did we make? We made 14 points today. So I still got to finish this monstrosity of a battle pass. Is it PDR has the season started? No, this is not PDR. This is currently season 11, Carlo. The PDR is already over. The season does start in 6 days. However, we're already preparing according for the season. We're preparing our notes for the videos that we're going to drop. For all the builds that we're going to do. And I actually did want to reskill my Auradin to my Judgment Paladin to full Auradin. But for this, we're actually going to be able to kill the Hall of the Penitent because I need to get those respective acts. Starfish, they pushed the disappointment to the end of the item journey. A lot of people have been loving sanctification. The thing is, I don't like systems that stop crafting, personally. I don't find them interesting at all. So Path of Exile has the Vaal Orbs, right? That at the end of your item's journey, you can Vaal Orb an item to maybe get even better results out of it. I personally never find that interesting. I always found it fucking annoying. But hey, that might just be me. Diablo 4 is dead. Sir, are you okay? Did you fall on your head as a child? Are you a child? Oh, so we can actually kill him in T4. That's good. I wasn't sure if I had the power to do it yet. See, this is the axe I was talking about. That is the... Here. The Thundered Knight. Casting an aura skill triggers a consecration beneath you, and you gain 180% aura potency while standing. And I think the anointing is being changed to something different, if I'm not mistaken. No, the anointing is still staying, exactly. But yeah, this is like what makes Auradin so good. Do you recommend Diablo for someone who's never played a Diablo game before? Is it beginner friendly? Extremely so. Ayo. It actually did get more beginner friendly. Last season, or this season, the season that introduced the seasonal rank, it made it better for newcomers. Because you used to have to farm renown. And renown is now gone. Instead of farming renown, you now have the seasonal rank to go through. And the seasonal rank is kind of like a plan how to go through the game. Now, I will say that some of the seasonal rank stuff still needs some fine-tuning, because I never played the Penitent difficulties, so I'm missing out on Smoldering Ashes simply due to the fact that I never went into Penitent. or that I never did a Legion event, or that I never did a Cellar, or whatsoever, right? I never defeated Urivar, so I don't get the 4 Paragon points. Because I never had Urivar's masks. Do I have them by now? I have them by now. Fire. So yeah, there is like still some fine-tuning to be done, but the seasonal rank itself is good. If you're hired, it's okay, Keeper. I read it afterwards. The problem is I never went into a cellar. Who if you goes into cellars? And if you never started D4 before, you have a whole ass campaign to beat. Which is actually a really good thing. I mean, you have a whole goddamn campaign to beat. We used to get mats from there, yeah, but only because one specific seller was buggeroonied, my friend. It could be abused. Not because sellers were actually good. What's your favorite build for each class? I mean, this pretty much wraps it up here. Oh, we can go over this in a bit. So for Necromancer, we have the triple Golem build. And the triple Golem build has been, since its creation, my absolute S tier favorite. Alright, there's no questions asked. Now I killed Urivar, and I claimed his thingy, so I get 4 Paragon points. Dankeschön. That was simple, wasn't it? Do I have finally all the Paragon points that we can actually get from this? No, there's 2 missing. Increased Divine Gifts. And that's it. Oh, you have to defeat Lilith in Torment 4 nowadays for the Resplendent Spark. Oh. Interesting. I wasn't aware you have to do it in Torment 4. Well. That's kind of cool. Okay, we're sitting at how much damage from this now? Good old 1,000. Any idea why they don't want to add Soul Self-Found and they prolong it so much? Is it that hard to implement? How do I say this now? I would prefer Solo Self-Found in Diablo, and Solo Self-Found in Diablo would finally make me actually look into the leaderboard. Because without Solo Self-Found, the leaderboards are a complete fucking joke. Why would I care about that? Why would I care about the top player spending more money than me? Right? Especially with a top player unable to view a private profile. Great, Chad. Why do the top players have private profiles? That's fantastic. I never wanted to look at your profile anyways, right? So yeah. So it's like a massive joke, right? You're looking at people who are actually spending money on the game, right? To blast their characters up and so on, like to get the perfect items. I mean, look at this thingy here. This is a 5-skill amulet. A 5-skill, that's bullshit. It doesn't exist. So these are like real money dudes, right? Partially that spend just money to buy items and then mass sanctify them and so on. So yeah, Solo Self-Found would be a real reason. Like, look at this. He has the same amulet, and so the thing is, you'll find the same amulet X times in a row, partially because they just get duplicated and then just spend out to people, right? It's kind of funny, right? So everyone has a similar amulet in the top, but the thing again is, like, with Soul Self-Found, the leaderboard would get more credit, more value in my eyes. Not everyone thinks that way, but that's okay. However, like, minuscule part of the community. Again, how many people would really play Soul Self-Found? For how many people is Soul Self-Found really interesting? For most, not. For most, it really, like, most people do the trading. I'd probably fit less than 15 to 20% keeper. Way less. I mean, most people would probably not even see the option. Let's say they put Soul Self-Found in, okay? You make a character, choose whatever, finalize, you choose the campaign state, seasonal, and then they would add solo self on here. Most people wouldn't even see it. Right? I would like it, and they're working on it, but it just has zero priority. I mean, we're 3 years into Diablo 4, and they're still trying to find an identity for Diablo 4. This is no hate, okay? This is very important. This is no hate. But we're 3 years into the game, and we're still not sure what we are. Yes, we're an ARPG. Yes, we're kind of multiplayer. Yes, we're open world. And there was a try to give us raids, correct? We get loot filters. Yeah, but loot filters are completely unnecessary. I mean, I'm like, what do you need loot filters for? It's not like that Diablo has that much loot. Diablo does not have that much loot. Loot filter, like, I get so frustrated with this topic. Because in Path of Exile, you need loot filters. You need them. You can't, like, you physically can't play Path of Exile without a loot filter. Due to the fact that Path of Exile has too much loot. It does have too much loot. Right? However, for some reason, people still want them in Diablo, while Diablo doesn't even have the loot density for loot filters. Like, you know what I see coming is that people activate loot filters too early and miss out on crafting materials. Vessel of Hatred did fix the game. I mean, saying Vessel of Hatred didn't fix the game is vastly understating the impact that Vessel of Hatred had. I mean, Vessel of Hatred fixed the whole progression. 1 to 60, Torment 1 to 4, great endgame activities with varying difficulty baked into that. Vessel of Hatred did fantastic for the game. Now, obviously, is there still a lot missing? Are we still looking for more endgame activities? Absolutely. Will Warplan fix the endgame? Well, I mean, Warplan will definitely streamline what we have already without adding anything new to it. Right? It gamifies the endgame a bit more, but it doesn't actually change the endgame. I still get 2 weeks of enjoyment every season. 2 weeks is insane, Lando! You're getting 2 weeks of free content every season from a game that you bought 3 years ago. Like, I think that sounds pretty fire. Because, you know, I bought Elden Ring for 60 bucks and then the DLC, and I obviously haven't gotten the amount of hours from Elden Ring so far, arguably it being a fantastic game. When I have thousands of hours in Diablo, and I've only spent, like, you know, technically the money for the game, 60 bucks, and the money for the expansion, 40 bucks, and now also the money for the next expansion. So 140 bucks I've played for thousands of hours of fun from one game. I put 2 months in the last PoE2 league, but the last PoE2 league was exceptional, Lando. Exceptional. Last of the Druid was really good. But you cannot say Diablo 4 lacking endgame and then not mention, like, the absolute shambles that Path of Exile 2 endgame is, technically. Aha! We get that one upgraded. Okay, can I do a 65? I feel like I can do a 65, Chad. Let's see. I got an Elixir of Tailwind. Oh, I remember I got this one. I bought this from the Dark Citadel. See, this is something that people have completely forgotten. There are these special elixirs from the Dark Citadel that you might not know even exist, right? So the Dark Citadel because no one plays the Dark Citadel. Has like this vendor here, and she sells specific potions that you get nowhere else. So this is like increased damage reduction 10% after killing. Your next core skill taunts. You get your next core skill heals you and nearby allies. We have increased healing and revive speed. We got the tailwind for the 15% increased movement speed, right? Most people don't even know they exist, because why would you? Okay, 65. Citadel was just tedious. The problem with Citadel was it's lengthy and there's a lot of walking. And if you, for example, as a necromancer play together with a rogue and a sword, they will already have killed everything before you even arrive. You don't get the level of frustration from this, by the way. But let's say you play a necro, or you just choose to not use a movement skill. I mean, necro just doesn't have one, right? But you're literally always going to be last. And not even by choice, right? So you're playing a multiplayer activity, but the multiplayer activity is the guys with movement skills moving fast ahead, and you without a movement skill not being able to keep up. So you're anyways not playing as a team, because you're just each rushing at your own tempo, and then it just feels terrible. So yeah. I poured 300 hours in 01 and then uninstalled PoE 2 and never regretted it. I think a lot of people bought PoE 2 because they thought they like ARPGs, only to find out that they don't actually like ARPGs. They only like certain games. You know? Does that make sense to you? So a lot of people play like Diablo, Last Epoch, PoE 1 maybe. And then they were like, you know what? I think I like ARPGs. I should play PoE 2. Only for it to turn out that they actually only like these games. But they don't enjoy the genre per se. Can't wait for the 1.0 release though. That's gonna be fire. God, it's gonna be so good. I'm really excited for this year. I mean, interesting enough, my last 2 months were the worst we've had on YouTube chat in a while, video-wise. I mean, we've made millions of views regardless, right? But just in comparison to prior successes, they were really low because I was waiting for all the updates, right? I was playing Code Vein, well, big dud, right? Neo 3, not many videos and that kind of stuff. And now we have like the prime times coming again, right? We got Crimson Desert, we got the Diablo upgrades, we got the reveal streams, we got the announcements. Holy! I like ARPGs, but not PoE. See, I hate ARPGs, LL, but I like Diablo 4 and PoE 2. But I actually don't like ARPGs. Most are terrible. I just like a subset of games that are, by coincidence, ARPGs. It's like when people always ask me, hey, Pony, you like PUBG. I'm super confused. Why are you not playing Escape from Tarkov? I was like, but sir, like, how does that even make sense? What does Escape from Tarkov have to do with PUBG? Even remotely, you know? They both have guns, I guess. And they're both are badly coded. That's the only thing they have in common. Ever tried Project Diablo 2? No, never, Ventress, but I'm also not the biggest Diablo 2 fan. I mean, I just played the I played the Warlock until Hell difficulty. It was fun, but I like Diablo 2 is just fun for me. It's not like the greatest thing I've ever played in my life. You should check out D2R, definitely. It's good if you've never played it. Right? But it's not the... I mean, some people will tell you it's the greatest thing in the world, right? It's the best invention ever made. Mankind has ever conceived. Like, you love Call of Duty, Modern Warfare series, but why not CS2? They're both shooters, LL. You should love them. You should love them. They're shooters. So vastly different games. People say weird things for sure. How did you find Resident Evil Requiem so far? I did 3 playthroughs, my friend. 1 playthrough, 8 hours long. Another playthrough, speedrun challenge without healing and crafting. 3rd playthrough, infinite ammo. What can I tell you? I absolutely dig Resident Evil Requiem. I paid $70 now for roughly 16 hours of gameplay experience, which would make you think, what the fuck? That's not really a good ratio for your money, but I enjoyed every single second. Right? Absolute peak experience, but I'll probably not start it ever again until there's a DLC or something. So I mean, I got like here, what do we have? We can open this up. So I have it already uninstalled, right? Because I'm kind of done. So I've played 23.8 hours in total, but that was also a lot like recording videos and sitting in menus. So yeah, 24 hours for $70. Now you're gonna say, wow, that's crazy. That's like, for $70, you're expecting 70 hours, but that doesn't work for these kind of games, right? Game of the Year, no. It doesn't do anything groundbreaking. So, like, for Game of the Year, always reserve something that does something specific, special in that regard, right? And Resident Evil is a very well-running game, very well-performant, but it's just Resident Evil. Right? I mean, sure, having the different perspectives and then, like, the back and forth and the vibes and the acting is sublime. But it's just Resident Evil. I mean, I don't see, like, personally, I know I will get hate for this. I also don't see how, like, GTA should be Game of the Year. Because GTA 6 will, end of the day, just be GTA. Right? It's just going to be a GTA gameplay loop in a GTA world. And it will look good, most likely. And it will be cool, right? But for me, personally, I don't see why it ever would be Game of the Year, because it's not going to do anything groundbreaking, special, crazy. It's just going to be GTA. Warlock classes for the expansion. However, tomorrow evening, we have a live stream chat. So already reserve your seat. Tomorrow evening, Warlock live stream, followed up instantly by me just concocting those Warlock videos with all the Warlock information. So yes, we will have tomorrow the stream where they finally reveal the Warlock full, even though we know everything already. But yeah, finally we can talk about it. Bosses had no mechanics. Bosses have mechanics, Lando. The final boss, at least. Oh, why am I in Torment 3 again? Ooh. My friend said I should play Requiem. The girl is first person, the dude is third person. I played both third person. It was better for me, Freecon, personally. Compared to RE4 with no mechanics. I agree, Lando. However, they made it more casual, right? So I think a lot of games are trying to appeal more to a casual, even more to a casual audience. And I know that for people who obviously know these games and want to be challenged by these games, then having bosses without mechanics feels like, wow, that's terrible. But like, don't underestimate how learning resistant people are. Seems like crafting should be more interesting with a Horadric Cube. Certainly, Jan. My problem is the Horadric Cube is inside Scovis. So if you want to use the Horadric Cube, you need to be in Scovis. Gesundheit! Which I personally dislike, because that means I need to teleport to Scovis every single time I want to do something with the Horadric Cube. Right? And nowhere else, just Scovis. Has Holy Hammer sold PoE 1 for you? The problem with PoE 1 right now is that I don't have time for it. I mean, we're getting the Hexy region in Where Winds Meet, and I'm going to spend at least 1 or 2 days playing through the Hexy region. And if I play 1 or 2 days through the Hexy region, then we already have the 8th, and then we already have Season 12 of Diablo. So it's not that I don't want to play the Diablo, the Path of Exile season. I just have no time, right? I could literally play it for... I couldn't play it. I couldn't play it. There's just no time. At all. I mean, you gotta choose what you want to cover. At the end of the day, like, my Path of Exile videos have never been the most crazy ones on the channel. And you get to accept, like, I'm not a super Path of Exile expert. I know people like to see my builds because they like me. But it's not like that I'm some kind of authority in the Path of Exile space, right? I don't, like, I'm not recognized in that way. When if we do Diablo builds, people know who we are in the Diablo space, usually, right? And if you've ever touched Diablo 4, you've probably seen one of my builds down the line. If you've been on the websites, whatsoever, you'll find one of them. You probably have seen one of my videos, even if you don't know who I am. Like, inevitably, you might have seen one of my thumbnails. And that's a difference, right? When you then start make videos about a game like that. Luna Orca Wolf Evil. It was the Triple Herald Wolf, which is still my favorite creation because Triple Herald is fun. And then we did the cast on Element Ailment Lightning Storm, and it was just cool. Axelinas, good to see you there. Love your builds because they're built for filthy casuals. Yes, sir. Filthy casual builds for the win. My favorite kind of builds. Why would you ever do anything else but make builds for filthy casuals? Achievable builds? No, that sounds too reasonable, sir. Call it filthy casual builds. The good old. One to 60 speed run. I miss doing more speed runs. We'll definitely have these speed runs for season 12, but I might not be able to do many of them. Well, it depends on how the leveling is. I think the leveling is going to be faster in season 12 because the kill streaks are crazy. I'm not sure if you leveled in season 12, but they're crazy, right? Like, the amount of experience you get is abhorrent. Like, in a good sense. You're leveling and you get like a 500 kill streak and suddenly your XP bar fills up half. Vizier, there are a lot of builds that can reach Torment 4. The problem is the effort they need. So you obviously have to ask yourself the question, do I want to reach Torment 4 with maximum effort or with minimum effort? For example, if I play Summoner Necro, due to the way how Summoner Necro scales, right? Like, as soon as I get my Golem Paragon and I get my Cult Leader Paragon and I get 100% attack speed, I suddenly get 500% bonus damage, and boom, my build is good, right? And then you're, for example, playing a Shadow Warlock, or you're gonna go for Bone Spirit, whatsoever. Even Blood builds. And blood builds like really require specific equipment. So sure, you could reach Torment 4 with the same builds, but the amount of time that it takes you to actually reach Torment 4 is equivalently higher. So sure, you could get to the same content, same-ish content, but like with the amount of effort you have to expand for that, it's like, what the fuck, right? So I always feel like these off-meta builds are more suited for second characters, right? When you already have one character and you pretty much can pour some currency into the other one, or you already have Paragon points, right? So, for example, a Necromancer build is really efficient with few Paragon points, and a Spiritborn needs at least 200 Paragon points to be good. Would I now say start with a Spiritborn? No, I would never start with a Spiritborn into a season. Starting with a Spiritborn into the season might be the single-handed worst thing you could do. However, playing a Spiritborn after you have 150 Paragon points already, or after you have 200 Paragon points already, looks very different. Is a Warlock coming for Season 12? Sadly not. I thought there might be a chance, because I still find it weird that we're getting the Warlock reveal stream now. Can someone of you tell me, why are we getting a Warlock reveal stream tomorrow? Look me in the eyes and you're like, yeah, it makes sense. Because shouldn't we get a Warlock reveal stream like a week or two before the season? As a, like, this is the Warlock and like, there you fucking go, and we're super pumped. Right? But for some reason, they're like, hey, let's do this a month early. You give great advice. I've never heard anyone say no to start a certain class at the beginning of a season. Lonely Black Guy, the reason for that is very simple, because it's not a problem for hardcore grinders. So if you're a super hardcore grinder, if you exactly know how Spiritborn works, you can obviously start Spiritborn at the start of the season, because you're aware that you'll need the 200 Paragon points and you'll play according to that. However, if you're someone who is not privy to this information and you're just starting out, right, and you get to the Spiritborn in Torment 1 and then you can't progress to Torment 2 because you need to grind a certain amount of Paragon points to do that, you're gonna be like, what the fuck, Spiritborn is terrible. Absolutely terrible. That's what a lot of people are like missing, then that pertinent piece of knowledge to know like how many Paragon points you really need to reach a certain breaking point. It's like showing the kids the Christmas presents in November, telling them to wait. Exactly. Like we get on the 5th of March. Chat, it's the 5th of March, and the 28th of April is like, what, 24 days away? Sorry, not 24 days away. 50 days away. Over 50. My brain not mathing there. So why now? Where can we test Warlock? We can't test Warlock cinematics. There was just like, so last month there was leaked footage of the Warlock, and we pretty much know everything about the Warlock already. Which skills it has, you know, specializations, the 2 resources it's running, that kind of stuff. So now Warlock is not coming for Season 12. It doesn't look like it at all. Obviously, like, you only have to trust my word here for that. If I had any privy inside information, I would tell you. Because I was excited too. I mean, I literally have a video in my renders currently about the Warlock coming for Season 12, chat. Because there was a lot of evidence that was pointing in that direction. But we never released that video. Maybe that tells you enough or not. Where can one find that leak? Well, so you can obviously Google for Warlock leak. The problem is that the leaked footage is removed from the internet. So, chat. Okay, listen. Wait, I need to teleport out. Wait, let's finish this and I'll tell you something, okay? About the Warlock leaked footage. Just remind me that I wanted to tell you something. Okay? Because else I'm going to forget after this fight already. So yeah, the Warlock leak footage is, the IGN article is removed from the internet. There used to be a Google Drive that actually had the video. Okay? But that also is not existing anymore. However, that goes for the English room, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't have the name of said content creator anymore. But there is a Spanish content creator, Spanish, who made a leak video, Spanish or Portuguese, about the Warlock. And he has a Google Drive link that leaks you to that brings you to the leaked footage. In Spanish. That's all I can tell you. Okay? However, we know 3 things, or we know 4 things about the... So here, we know 4 things about the Warlock. So, Warlock revealed. There are 4 playstyles. 4 playstyles. Warlock has 2 resources. One is like mana, the other is Infernal Energy. First playstyle is Summoner with temporary summons. What are we talking about? These are skills that do damage and summon minions, ghosts for time X. Okay? So, summon a Harbinger and he does a Flame Breath. Summon demons and they jump on their head. He has a basic skill to throw the fallen bump demons. Yeah. Then 2, we got a Infernal. We get a Hellhound plus Demon transformation. So that is pretty much a Warlock that has a Hellhound. Hellhound is a permanent summon. So the Hellhound has a life bar. Sorry, I missed my key multiple times. Hellhound has a life bar. Ultimate transforms into demon. Okay. It's one Hellhound. One X Hellhound. Okay. Ultimate transforms into demon and tons of fire skills. So like fire breath, hellfire, fire. Third playstyle is Shadow Warlock. That's Shadow Rogue Warlock. That's like phasing through enemies, shadow jumping, shadow stuff. So it's kind of like Assassin Warlock. Okay. The amount of summoned minions capped, Zofa. You don't summon minions. You still summon only the ghosts. So it's only temporary. Which means you can spam the skill to get X temporary minions anyways. But the temporary minions are the skill. So it's kind of like, instead of just saying Spear of Heavens, right? You're going to summon a demon who uses Spear of Heavens. You have to imagine it this way, right? Summon a tide of demons that run forward. So they don't even have life bars. They're really just temporary minions. So it's not really a summoner. It's kind of like a summoner. And then lastly, you have playstyle number 4. And that is the Runic Glyph Warlock. Which is put Runic Sigil. Giant ground sigil for hellfire damage. You know that skill from D2R already. Sigils equals to traps that enemies walk into. So you have to imagine that you're putting down multiple these sigils onto the ground, and if an enemy walks into them, he takes like damage. But obviously you can put the sigil under them so they're inside, and then they'll take damage. Which means you're kind of like a trap warlock in that regard. So that's how he works. This is obviously just roughly wrapped together what we have seen, right? I will say, no hate towards IGN, guys. But their presentation is ass. Like, literally ass. I mean, for someone who looked at... Like, for someone who creates guides and videos and presents stuff to you, they made a 9-minute video, and they really just... They didn't give us good info. You know? Like, I mean, you had your hands on the whole class probably for a couple of hours, right? You're a professional guide website, IGN, right? News website, whatever. But the info you presented us was very lackluster in that league. I mean, Diablo, just ship me in next time. I'll do it for you. I mean, I would show you the league, Joseph, right? But I'm a Diablo partner, so I'm not going to show you the league. How do I say this now? I'm obviously a Diablo partner, right, Chad? I am not allowed to show you leaks because that's against the terms of service and my Diablo partner agreement and whatsoever. However, let's not pretend the leak doesn't exist, right? We're not children. It's not like, oh, the leak doesn't, oh, there has never been a leak. Obviously, I can't show you pictures. Obviously, I can't show you things. But we've all seen it. I mean, I obviously watched the leak myself. Right? I mean, let's not pretend I haven't. I'm just simply not allowed to show you pictures. Because that would really be against terms of service and everything. We're all adults here, right? I'm not going to pretend it wasn't there. We're not like, oh no, IGN didn't do a mistake. No, no, no. Everything is fine. Leaked footage? I've never seen any leaked footage before. You know what I should make, Chad? I should make a Warlock prediction video. So, like, sorry, this is an ongoing joke because, like, I won't name names, but there's a Diablo or there's an ARPG YouTuber who liked to do his predictions for the next season video. The thing is that in the Diablo partner Discord, we're often getting information about the season a month prior. Right? Where we're getting the information a bit earlier. So if you're then sitting there as a creator and you're making a video about predictions for the next season, you're just like, you're pretty much just spoiling the whole thing, but you're pretending you're not. And the player base is like, wow, you're so accurate. You're amazing. Wow, crazy, sir, crazy. I was like, well, I've been in that meeting too. I've seen all the spoilers, so I know where your predictions are coming from. That's always funny. So I should probably do a prediction video too. And be like, wow, I'm so talented. How did I predict all of this? Wow, crazy, crazy, fucking crazy. Am I in, like, are we good? It's more fun when the Warlock comes out, everything is new and exciting. Hawkins, I think everything is still new and exciting. How do I say this? Often, like, I won't get more excitement out of seeing it on the day than actually watching the reveal video, right? So knowing what's to come has me more excited than not knowing what's to come. But that's just me. So everyone is obviously different, right? But for me, knowing what kind of skills we're getting, what kind of playstyles are possible, it just has me more pumped for the up-and-coming Warlock than just, oh, I'm going to wait until it releases and then I'm going to get excited. It builds anticipation, at least for me. Diablo needed a new class years ago. No. If Diablo had gotten a new class years ago, it would have been terrible. Because the only thing Diablo needed so far was fixing the game. I mean, everyone is different, obviously. So some people still want to really experience everything from the get-go, right? They don't watch any spoilers. They don't watch any trailers. They want to go into this and be like, really just virginal surprise. And that goes for a lot of single-player games, right? I was hoping to get a Warlock in D4 more like the one released from D2. You are. You are. Do I have D2R still installed? No, I have D2R deleted already because I've beaten it. So the Warlock is not completely different to the one in D2R. I mean, you have this here, for example, the Sigil Warlock is similar to the sigils you see in D2R. Because you have literally put the fire sigil down, it erupts, boom, everything dies. You have to put sigils down, enemies walk in, they die. You got the Hellhound is kind of similar to the summons from D2R, but you're not really playing with sacrifice, resummon, sacrifice, resummon. The whole temporary summoner playstyle is completely different, but the basic skill looks great. So the basic skill is pretty much, you know, these fallen bomb demons, right? Chad. The fallen enemies in Diablo 4. You get the ones with a hack, you get the bigger ones, and then you get the fallen explodey dudes. Are those the lunatics? The fallen lunatics? Yeah, here. So you have the fallen lunatics here, correct? And the basic skill is essentially throw lunatics at the enemy. So you have to imagine that this is the basic skill. You summon lunatics, 3, and then you just they just fly at the enemy and explode. And I think I like that because it's kind of like a summoner skill, but it's not a summoner skill, right? I don't even know if it has the summoner attack, to be honest. But it's kind of cool, and I think it's super fun, and I really want to throw bombs at the enemy because I think it's cool and fun. If fixing the game won't make money, new class. Well, I mean, they fixed the game and made a new class with Vessel of Hatred. I mean, so far, as much as we are maybe sad about the development cycle of Diablo, they have done everything right in terms of how they did the updates, right? Of getting us the new class plus actually introducing the 2.0 patch pretty much. And now we're getting 2 new classes and they're introducing the 3.0 patch. Because let's be fair, the Diablo after the expansion will again be a different Diablo. It will have different difficulties. It has a different skill tree. It has different ways to gain power. It has a different end game to a degree. It has a new map. It has different crafting systems, including the Horadric Cube. It has sets now again, which is a complete shakeup another time and creates a bonus chase with the sets. So Diablo 3.0 is truly shaping up to be a complete new experience. Now, it is still going to be Diablo, right? If you don't like Diablo, you're not going to like the game. But it's quite the new Diablo that we're getting. I mean, I see a lot of people being like, oh, just for 2 new classes, $40. If you want to be that narrow-minded, then be so. But, like, there's just so much more, right? And that's good. I mean, that's what we want. Now, obviously, all the new stuff will then become normal again, and then it won't feel special anymore, and you're going to be sad. And if you actually don't buy the expansion, you're going to be screwed over because you're going to miss out on all of that. I like, alone what I've seen from the Horadric Cube currently, the amount of power that you're going to miss out for not getting the Horadric Cube is going to be crazy. Like, the opportunity to reforge 3 uniques into a new unique is insane. Like, imagine me just, like, I am looking for the perfect version of my unique, but I can reforge 3 to 1, 3 to 1, 3 to 1. I will just get what I'm looking for while you're still crawling in the dirt. So that's looking really good. Do you think D4 is done adding new major DLC content? Sir, Joseph. Or like, I mean, D4 is probably going to be the Diablo with the most classes down the line. I mean, they'll continue. So we will get roughly every year a DLC, but like every year or every year and a half, we'll get a new DLC. That new DLC is going to introduce a new region and new classes. I mean, we're still missing the Sorceress region, right? So we're missing Xianzhai, I think it's called. Let's pull up the whole map of Sanctuary. Wait, let's nuke this dude, okay? Let's nuke this dude. So, after nuking the dude and upgrading my sigils. So, we have Sanctuary whole map. So, this is the whole map of Sanctuary, okay? So, we have so far this part in Diablo 4, right? We are now getting the Scovis Isle, which actually seem quite small compared to what we have gotten here because we got the whole area. But we still have Xianzhai, and we don't know if Xianzhai is in any way involved into the Scovis Isles. Now, what is Xianzhai? Xianzhai is the island of the... Oh, spank my booty hole. Here, we got Xianzhai is Frozen Sea Northwest of Scotland, so different continent. And it's the continent of the... Yeah, it's a magical continent, so full of sorks. Or a different kind of sork, right? I mean, there's mage wars over there, so we could get another kind of mage down the line. Then you got the Kandurus area, the Shovel Wilds. We have the Dreadlands still. You have the Ariad Crater. So all of this is still there, right? Where D2 was back here. Therefore, we still have a lot to visit. We have a lot that could come back. And we haven't been to the heavens yet. I mean, we still haven't been in the high heavens. We haven't been in hell for real. They're going to be milking... like, Diablo's a good base. I guess this is the best way to say this. If you look at Diablo right now, no matter if you like the game or not, it's a good base. I mean, we have the Helltides. The Helltides can come into every new region. We got the Nightmare Dungeons. We got the Lair bosses. We got the Pit, if you like the Pit or not. The Tower's obviously terrible. We get the Tree of Whispers. You get the Strongholds, which they could definitely do something with down the line, hopefully. We still have the Undercity. We technically have the Dark Citadel, which was a failure, but learning process, I guess. We're going to get Scovis with the Echoing Hatred. That's a new endgame activity. We're getting War Plans, and War Plans are something you can infinitely iterate on. So you have the War Plans, and then the War Plans are going to be... I lost my thought where I was going. Shit. So yeah, they can build up on the war plans, right? They can add just stuff to it and make it further. Sorry, I completely lost. I'm lost. I'm not gonna find back ever again. But yeah, war plans. Have I said war plans yet? War plans, good. So yeah, it's a good base, and they can just infinitely add DLCs to this, right? I mean, I will play Diablo 4 all year long again. I don't see myself stopping as a creator right now, and even as a player, because they're doing a good job so far. Can't say I'm too unhappy or disappointed, right? I mean, I'm definitely getting a lot out of my investment. And even more. I mean, hell, we even get ourselves a Shroud of the False Death today, ladies and gentlemen. Woo. Why am I not?
I'll keep my forge hot. Return soon.
Need some more opticide to upgrade my gloves so I can sanctify my gloves. A 10th of Indigo. I actually thought it was the 12th this month, but I said it wrong. It was the 10th this month. So I made a mistake, which is sad. Are you planning on playing Crimson Desert? Yes, sir. I will play Crimson Desert. I will maybe play some Slay the Spire 2. Sadly, I will not have the most time for that. We will play the latest Where Winds Meet update. We will obviously play Lord of Hatred. We will cover the new O5 update for Path of Exile 2. So this is all set in stone pretty much. All games we are very excited for and I'm very much looking into right now. Massive fun ahead. And I'm all here to deliver you all the content. I said O5 is going to be big. Yep. And it's either going to be actually big or very disappointing. Warlock is DLC. Warlock is DLC. You missed out on really great stuff back then. Honestly, if you played Diablo 4 and you enjoyed Diablo 4, you're not necessarily going to enjoy the other games. I'm not saying that Diablo 2 is bad, but it's very limited to a degree. A lot of people glaze the old mechanics as some of the best stuff in the game, but honestly, it's missing tons of quality of life. That's getting glossed over with, it was just harder back in the days. No, it's just missing tons of interesting quality of life. But it's still a good game. Diablo 3 also, fun game. I mean, definitely for the story. Like, personally, if you never played D2 and D3, I would buy them with the respective DLCs just for the story. I mean, just last year, we played every Diablo again. So I started with Diablo 1, and it was okay. I didn't enjoy it too much, but it wasn't horrible. Then we played Diablo 2 again, all the way Lord of Hatred with, like, until Asmodon was fallen. Was it Asmodon? Was it Baal? Baal, not Asmodon, right? Baal. Then we went over to D3, right? Also, all the way. With Maltael dead, end of the day. Back to the D4 campaign. And it's really a great storyline to play through. Like, the storyline is fun. Like, watching the cutscenes, playing through the actual story. Like, we're not talking about endgame and engaging with the endgame. We're talking about actually playing the campaign. Actually, like paying attention to what's being said, right? Paying attention to how the story unfolds, to the lore, is quite cool. It's the reason why I play the Resident Evil games, for example, too, right? For the story. God damn it, imagine playing a horror game for the story. Crazy. Do you have videos for zero knowledge players? Yes. LL. The problem is that a lot of stuff changed. So we have complete beginner guides, yes, but they're on the older systems. Now that the seasonal rank actually changed, things are a bit different. But every season we kind of release like a leveling guide that puts you, like, takes you by the hand and walks you down the line on how to actually level this season, right? How you do the leveling. And that's pretty much, we did that for season 11 too, I think. And the season 10 one should also be very accurate at this point. We'll be updating the Paragon board for the build guide. The build guide is not going to work in the next season, my friend. So we're probably not going to update the Paragon for this build because it's not going to work. The Judgment Paladin with a Blessed Spear, I tried it out on the PDR. I literally went in with perfect gear, level 100 glyphs and everything, and it just wasn't good. It didn't feel good. It didn't feel fun due to the nerfs to Castle. So definitely have to rethink what I personally will play because we're not doing billions of damage anymore. It really wasn't good. I mean, I pretty much threw together like a very basic Necromancer. And the very basic Necromancer was so much more efficient. Oh my lord, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Get the camera. It's happening. And I don't need it. It's even a good one, actually. You get the damage and the vulnerable damage and the life and the strength. Ta-da! Now you're going to sanctify it, and then you're going to upgrade it, so you actually see like a cool outcome, right? Probably. Okay, first and foremost, let's upgrade my gloves. Because after upgrading my gloves, I can now go and sanctify to see what happens. Because we're just messing around. You know, we're not looking to get the best of the best of the best. We're just messing around. So, let's sanctify this. What we're getting. New legendary power added. Okay, your reinforcement cooldown is reduced by 30% after casting your ultimate. Your reinforced mercenary is called. This cannot occur more than every 30 seconds. It's such a robbery. I mean, at least we get something cool, but it's still a robbery. Let's that 4 link here that we don't need. Let's sanctify it. New affix added. Hi, yeah. Very sad. Oh, I don't have you qualityed up, so I don't actually have you sanctified, right? I just noticed how few of my gear is actually qualityed up and sanctified down the line. Oh, most of it, actually. Another resplendent spark, you say? We could check if we can actually beat Lilith in Torment 4, then I would get another spark. How do you feel about the PoE story in the campaign? I don't have a clue what's happening. You know? I don't know. I don't know what's happening in Path of Exile story-wise. I mean, I just know there's a beast, and there's stuff, and then things, and then stuff, and that's it. Right? But I really don't know what's going on. Very much. So the story is certainly not too conclusive, where you're looking at it like, yeah, I know what's going on. I understand the story. No, it's not really happening. But that's fine. Hopefully, like, when all acts are out, we can kind of dig into it. The problem is that in order to understand the Path of Exile 2 story, you need to play Path of Exile 1 as well. To kind of understand the world and what's going on and that stuff. And that's a bit sad. I mean, I should be able to understand the Path of Exile 2 story when I'm playing Path of Exile 2, right? It shouldn't require me to dig into a different game to then understand the game that I'm actually playing. Oh, on Torment 4, she does actually have quite some significant HP. Jesus. Chan. Oh my goodness, I died. She's too hard in Torment 4. Cannot beat her yet. We're not ready. We're too weak. I need my magnum opus, right? Actually. For even more damage, finally. My Griswold's opus, sorry. Not my magnum opus. You're too weak. I know! Don't look at me like this! When we don't even have 200 Paragon points, my poor character needs to get stronger. Vastly stronger. But the most important part is we need to get the reliquary up. You know, it's not about the character getting stronger. It's about me getting the reliquary done. That's why we're playing today, surprisingly or unsurprisingly. Because we wanted to move the needle forward here as well. Right? It's the first season where I don't actually have the... Where I don't have the battle pass unlocked. Also, I didn't really care. So we need the weapons still. And we would need the... Oh, that's the platinum. Well, maybe I should have unlocked the platinum first. You know what you could do, John? Instead of taking 5 favor to unlock the platinum, right? You could also unlock the platinum with platinum. No? Will Warlock be melee or ranged? Ranged. But he can turn into a demon. And then you replace... A demon form is kind of like bear form. Here. Demon form is kind of like grizzly rage. So you turn into a bear. And you're permanently in bear form then. And you can only use bear skills. The same kind of happens with demon form. So you turn into a demon. And then you can only use demon skills. That's kind of how it goes. Oh, by the way, one thing that we haven't checked in a long, long while.
1,000 salutations, one.
Oh, that's cute. That's for free? Well, give it.
It calms to
Chat, we get a free pet.
traveler. Let us continue.
I'm gonna actually check like any paladin. Damn, paladin has some killer skins, huh? Oh, looking mighty nasty. That is just a skin from the barbarian. Oh, they also got the spectral skin. I gotta get some more of my Diablo points to buy skins. Damn. Another freebie was there? You don't say so. Honestly, the amount of freebies that I've missed already because I just can never be bothered. It's definitely through the roof. Can the demon form be turned permanent? I don't know. Ryusuke? Again, the amount of knowledge that we have is mostly from the IGN League. And they're still just very limited from that, right? There could be more. Oh. Ignore me. Ignore me. Can I leave my necromancer skins on the road? Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. See what we get there. Can you play the Warlock in D2R? Yes, but it's a different Warlock. So the D2R Warlock is not the Warlock that we're getting Diablo 4 in. The Diablo 4 Warlock is not the one that we're getting in Diablo Immortal. They're decisively different. Shield was ruining the aesthetic, Chan. Oh, wait, no. I need the... But I need a different color. Here. Actually, the gold aesthetic works on it. Ah. The helmet is a bit weird. The helmet I would probably replace through the... Here, the... what's it called again? Ah. Yes. Better. Better. Very good look. Fashion sold. That one looks so much better. Perfect. Oh, so this skin was bought with my Diablo bucks, Chan. There are Diablo partner benefits to being a Diablo partner. And one is having Diablo bucks. Okay, how do we get the most experience so I can get more points for my battle pass? Huh? Resident Evil has sold 5 million units in 5 days. Damn. That's crazy. I mean, considering that this will definitely be a game that people pick up on sales a lot too, right? Can you buy this Red Skull cosmetic set? Which Red Skull cosmetic set? It's quite impressive. I mean, I'm not surprised. Definitely well executed game. Don't forget your pet, that's true. We need to swap out the weird doggy, the Lord of Hatred doggy. You are indeed correct about that, good sir. We're neglecting our duties. I don't even know where we get the dog from. That's the more weird part. So why did we even get the Lord of Hatred doggy? Does anyone know? What did we do special? Oh, is it because I have no, it's not. Did I watch the stream? Is it because we watched the live stream? I don't know. I just have it, right? I'm the chosen one. So, who's going to watch with me tomorrow, by the way, chat? Who's going to be there for the Warlock reveal? It's in the European evening, German evening. We'll definitely have the live stream. I mean, again, we know everything already, but we can pretend. We're like, oh, gasp. No, you don't say so. That's really happening? Wow. I did not see that coming. Do you think we can play Warlock with a Flame Skull in PvD, aka the popcorn build? No, there's no kind of popcorn build, sir. There's no kind of auto bomber. PDR? No, DVD. There was a leak from IGN that pretty much gave us all the information already. Also, some creators were invited to Blizzard, myself included. I just didn't want to go because it wasn't the time for me to go. So I guess they got to play Warlock early. What Paladin build is this one? Oh, Judgment Paladin. Judgment Blessed Spear together with Arbiter of Justice. You pretty much have your Arbiter of Justice form and you permanently keep it up, and that actually scales your damage permanently up, giving you 100% of bonus damage. And then you just drop the spears on them and they get judged, and that does billions of damage, and then you do billions of damage and then you win. That's pretty much it. Sadly, the build like this won't work after the patch hits. So in Season 12, we're actually not going to play Judgment Paladin because it really doesn't work anymore. At least not to the degree it did before, because right now the Judgment Paladin is getting tons of bonus damage from here. So we're getting 1,000 bonus damage from Castle, and that 1,000 bonus damage is down to 100% bonus damage or so. So you're really losing like hundreds of damage percentage. It's crazy. Like it's really weak. Like we made a here, so let's go back quickly to give you a point of reference. Oh, live streams. Let's give you a point of reference. Second class reveal, D2R, Neo, PTR. There we have it. So this was the PDR, and the first thing we did is we pretty much made a Paladin in the PDR. Okay. So like right away, Paladin. And we wanted to see how would the Paladin do? How much is the damage nerf? This is Torment 3 now for, actually, this is Torment 3 for the Paladin. Here we did some leveling. So we did some leveling to see if Paladin leveling works, and Paladin leveling definitely works. So with a kill streak, that was nice because you went through. So this was like just the leveling. And here's the kill streak, and you see it put up, right? And the interesting part about the kill streak is the leveling, because once this kill streak here ends, your XP just jumps forward significantly, right? So we get like 54 kills, which is not really impressive. Like later hundreds of kills are like more impressive, because the more skills you have, the more experience you obviously get, right? But still, like, let's just have this go over. We're gonna speed this up a bit so we can see that. So that's 101 kills. So we're gonna place this. Chow, we're gonna place this. Right, you obviously need to like try to get as many kills as possible. The good thing about the kill streak is if you hit a boss with it or a big elite, it refreshes. So it's not actually on killing, right? The kill streak also persists on singular opponents, which makes it extremely good, because usually on the contact here, 129 kills, and we just got like 2 XP bars from this, right? Okay, but then we took this into the end game, okay, to see how it was in the end game. So like here, this is like Torment 4. And we were absolutely getting our ass beaten. Like we were still doing damage. So this is the same build, but with level 100 runes and everything. So exactly the same build. And yeah, like the damage is up to 400 million instead of to multiple billion. And my glyphs are 100. So the current glyphs on my character, right? The current glyphs of this character are sitting at 50. And that guy had fully upgraded gear with everything, and he was hitting like for not even 1 billion. Then we made a necromancer. So I made a necromancer. I just threw things together, like really just did like everything basically, and we're instantly jumping around doing billions of damage. Like as you can see, this is the necro, right? I'm just running around. I'm just hitting things. I'm getting my barrier up, and my dudes are just jumping in, and boom, like 5 billion there. You've seen it. So this is just like so easy to scale still. I was like, yeah, necro for the win. That was cool. But this is where Paladin really felt nerfed big time. And I was super happy about how good Necromancer was. Will the new season bring anything fresh? Yeah, no. So this is the PDR. And the PDR patch, okay? So the real new thing that's coming is, for all classes, the Blood Mat Amulet. The Blood Mat Amulet is an amulet here that you can use on everyone. It's kind of cool in that regard. So every class can use it. And it says, you are always berserking, but take 200% increased damage as burning over 8 seconds, while burning berserking grants additional 125% increased damage. This works on every class. So this is not a thingy for barbarians. Berserking gives you bonus movement speed and bonus damage, and you get bonus damage only that you're burning. So if you have any kind of barrier production, it doesn't matter that you're burning, right? And you would get 150% bonus damage to whatever you're doing. So that's probably like something you can pick up for every build. Just 150% bonus damage if you don't want the aspect. Kind of intriguing. You have the Wendigo Brand. I think you could use this for everything as well. The problem is every 15 kills in the last 60 seconds increases your damage. Thing is, it's kills, right? Which makes it completely useless for boss fighting. Because if you don't kill the boss in 60 seconds then, right? You kill the last minion, then 60 seconds long you have bonus damage. However, that bonus damage drops off after 60 seconds. So if you kill everything inside 60 seconds, you're good. If not, you're losing power. And if you're now going for Sorg, what did change for the Sorg, okay? The Sorg got nothing. I mean, this is a filler season. You got like a few number tweaks and that's it. This is it. That was the Sorg update. This is the patch notes for the Sorg. They should reveal seasonal powers to complement the kill streaks. We actually don't know if there's any kind of seasonal powers coming, if they're going to hit us with a surprise. Because right now, at this very point, the seasonal power is the kill streak. So kill streak is obviously meant to stay in Diablo, I think. But right now, the kill streak seems to be the seasonal power, and that's it, together with the bloodied items, which is shit. Unless they're actually releasing anything rather interesting, the season in itself, from a mechanic standpoint, is very disappointing. The Warlock is coming in Season 13. This is Season 12. Season 13 is the release of the expansion. Therefore, yeah, not many changes, but I'm still excited to play. As despite there not being many changes, I just like the gameplay loop of Diablo. Also, for Necro, we actually see some meaningful changes, right? Necro's getting some updates to their Paragon nodes. That the Blood Begets is now working better than ever. 10 seconds long instead of 5 seconds. And Flesh Eater also gives more damage. It says consuming 3 corpses gave 40% bonus damage, right? Now it says consuming 1 corpse is 60% bonus damage for 8 seconds. That makes it so much better. It's a little thing, but it's such an improvement. Scent of Death is also like 45%, so Necro is actually getting wholesale stronger. Same goes for Frailty. Everything is better about the Necro. You have instant power instead of stacking power. So yeah, that's cool. And I'm really excited. That being said, chat, I think we're going to wrap up the stream here. So we got our tier list coming. I will probably make this tier list. This was the Warlock reveal. We got the tier list coming in 2 days. So I'm going to prepare everything for this already. Full video where we talk about all the cool builds. And then we have specific guides and everything for the start, more towards the release. But yeah, we're going to have a tier list already to have some discussion. But that was it for today. Thank you for coming, watching, lurking, chatting, hopefully enjoying. I'll be back tomorrow for more with a Warlock reveal. So we're very excited for that. We're going to have a whole stream. We're going to talk about everything. We're going to make the videos later. Until then, I wish you a fantastic good evening, night, day. Hope you have a good one. Don't forget to have an eye on the YouTube. Watch more videos. Thank you. And until then, take care.